a time, in the land of Flutterfield, there lived a butterfly fairy named Marip0sa. She was the smartest fairy in the land. She read every book she could find, and the dashing Prince Carlos also shared her love of reading. Then, one day, Marip0sa discovered that the magical lights in Flutterfield were growing dimmer. These lights protected Flutterfield from the Skizites, monsters who eat butterfly fairies. The lights were going out because Henna, an evil butterfly fairy, had poisoned Queen Marabella, and it was the Queen's magic that made the lights shine. So, Marip0sa and her friends flew to the wilderness on a quest for an antidote. But along the way, they faced peril and danger of all kinds. When they finally arrived at the Cave of Reflections, Marip0sa proved her courage and earned the antidote. When she did, her wings grew larger and even more beautiful. Marip0sa and her friends returned to Flutterfield to discover the Skizites attacking the royal palace. Marip0sa gave the antidote to the Queen, who was instantly healed. The magical lights returned, forcing Henna and the Skizites to flee. Queen Marabella hailed Marip0sa and her friends as heroes, which they are to this day.
Hey, Marip0sa! Hello, Marip0sa! Hi! Hey, Marip0sa! Oh, hello!
Morning, Marip0sa.
Hi! Hey, Marip0sa! Good morning.
Thanks for the suggestion on the book.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you like it. Wait till you read the sequel. Marip0sa. Excuse me. Yes? Sorry to bother you, but I was hoping you might have a chance to say hello. My daughter's a big fan. Of mine? I know all about how you and your friends got the big scary Skizites out of Flutterfield. Oh, it wasn't just me. There were lots of fairies who helped. Willa helped. Is it true you read every book in Flutterfield? Well, not everyone, but there's still time. Will you sign my book? Really? Okay. And whenever you're looking for a book recommendation, come by the Royal Library in the Palace. I'm there every day. I will for sure. Thanks so much, Marip0sa. You're welcome. See you later. Bye! Hey, how come I never get an autograph? Because you never have a pen. You must be the most famous librarian ever. Royal historian. And I chose the best job in the world. I get to spend all day with the biggest collection of books in Flutterfield. It's perfect. Easy. I'm right here. What is it? The Queen? Did she say why? That would be a surprise, since it's not Marip0sa's birthday. Let's go find out. Z, lead the way.
Marip0sa, thank you for coming.
Of course, Your Majesty. Prince Carlos?
Good morning, Marip0sa.
Oh, Lord Gastrus.
Marip0sa, tell me, what do you know about crystal fairies?
The Crystal Fairies from Shimmervale? What a fairy! Yeah. Well, their land is built on an amazing natural energy source called crystallites, and the crystallites heat and power everything in their realm.
See, Mother? I told you she'd be the perfect choice.
Hardly! She hasn't mentioned that they're vicious, vile, and the sworn enemies of the butterfly fairies.
With all due respect, Lord Gastrus, I don't believe that to be true.
Aha! You see? Misinformation. I've been around long enough to know who our enemies are.
Marip0sa, crystal fairies are scary and cruel. Everyone knows that. Only because that's what we've been led to believe. It's what's in our fairy tales. But the real history is different. Look. Centuries ago, butterfly and crystal fairies were allies. Then, the Crystal Fairy King accused the butterfly fairies of trying to steal their crystallites. The butterfly fairies denied it. The crystal fairies didn't believe them, and everyone got angrier and angrier until the two sides declared themselves eternal enemies and vowed never to have contact again. Okay, but what about the part where the crystal fairies grind the butterfly fairies' wings to make their bread? Where's the picture of that? You won't find it. It never happened.
Preposterous. Your Majesty, the girl has no idea what she's talking about.
But I do. Your Majesty, all the horrible stories about crystal fairies are just that. Stories. This is history.
And it's exactly the thing on which we should base our decisions. Research, not hearsay. I'm convinced. Marip0sa, you shall leave for Shimmerville as Flutterfield's royal ambassador. You will live with the royal family for 1 week and prove that butterfly fairies and crystal fairies can be friends.
What? But crystal fairies are dangerous! If Marip0sa goes there, she'll be...
Welcomed as an honored guest. That's what King Regilius assures me.
The crystal fairies will love you, Marip0sa. I know it.
But who will look after the royal library?
Willa can manage that.
She can? I can? Yeah?
Of course she can, and I will help also.
I'm sorry, I can't. Your Majesty.
Willa told me I'd find you here.
Hello, Carlos.
Why won't you go to Shimmerville?
I don't think I'm ambassador material.
Oh, but you're the smartest fairy I know. You've read every book on Shimmerville.
Yeah, I'm great with books, but making peace with the crystal fairies? I can't do that.
But I know you'll win them over.
But what if I don't? What if I say or do the wrong thing? What if I make things worse?
You won't. We all believe in you. Just be yourself. And remember, the best way to make a friend is to be a friend. Oh, I almost forgot. My mother asked me to give this to you.
Oh. It's beautiful.
It's a flutter flower. It's made from the most precious magic of Flutterfield. Whenever you have doubts, just take it out, and it will remind you of us.
I'll go. Please, thank the Queen for me.
You'll be welcomed on the outskirts of Shimmerville.
Guess I'll see you when I get back then. Bye, Carlos.
Goodbye, and good luck!
Okay. Mondays, the new manuscripts come in. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you need to lead the guided tours. On Wednesdays, the tapestries get touched up and cleaned. And on Fridays, we read to the elderly. Did you get all that? Yes, I think so. What was that thing you said? After Monday? There. Is there anything I forgot? Your clothes? Oh, right. I'm on it. Z. Cake. Thanks. Wish me luck. Be careful, okay? I will. Good luck. Okay, Z, we're ready to go. Z? Looks like one of your books doesn't want to go. Z, you're not afraid of the crystal fairies, are you? Z, it'll be fine. There are no stories about crystal fairies eating puffballs. Come on, let's go have an adventure. Shimmervale A History says, diplomats to Shimmervale receive a grand welcome, including a parade, marching band, and fireworks. Ooh. This is the meeting spot, Z. We're right on time. Is someone there? Hello? Of course we won't hurt you. I'm Marip0sa from Flutterfield, and this is Z. You are not gonna hypnotize me with your wicked magic, then lure me back to your dark, dismal cave and... No? Oh, goody. I'm Talayla. Your butterfly wings are so beautiful. Thanks. I like yours too. Look, how cute! Is that your war beast? War beast? No. Then yay, how cute! So, is this the grand welcome? Oh, that. Sorry. The flying band was too afraid to come meet you. It's okay. Come on, I'll show you both all around Shimmervale. I mean, in the name of His Royal King Regelius, it is my privilege to give you an official tour of our fair land. Let's go! Welcome to Shimmervale City! And I see every roof has a crystallite, the main source of heat and power here in Shimmer. That's my line. Sorry. As you can see, every roof has a crystallite, the main source of heat and power here in Shimmervale.
It's a butterfly fairy!
Follow me. Next stop, Low Waterfalls. Here it is. Historians say this is where Shimmervale's first residents discovered crystallites. Wow. I never thought I'd say this, but pictures don't do it justice. Yep, it's why we end the tour here. Z, are you okay? Aw, am I going too fast for you, little puffer? And now to the palace, where you'll be staying. Come on. The castle was built over 4,000 years ago under the reign of King Frenulus IV. His wife, Queen Serfrilla, designed much of what we still see today. Hey! Huh? Up here! Hi! No, you're scaring her! You're Marip0sa, aren't you? The butterfly fairy? Yes, I'm Catania. Oh, it must be so terrifying flying across Fairytopia to get here. Were you scared? Scared? I don't know. It was more...
Tanya! Away from the window!
I've gotta go. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the kingdom. There you are! I thought I lost another visitor on the tour. I'll never live that down. Anywho, let's show you to your room. Z, come on! And now... Ta-da! decorated it myself. Really interesting. I based it on everything we crystal fairies know about butterfly fairies. That was thoughtful. Do the trees in Flutterfield really come alive, snatch the fairies in midair, and devour them? What? No! These don't do that, do they? Nah, I couldn't figure out how to make it work. I did put in hidden thorns, though! Just like home. And now, it is my extreme pleasure to invite you to meet His Royal Highness King Regelius and the Royal Princess Catania. Unless you want to stay here and freshen up, you know, where it's familiar. No, we would be honored to meet the King and Princess. Yeah. Ready to meet the King? I think so. Please welcome Marip0sa, Royal Ambassador from Flutterfield. I introduce King Regelius and Princess Catania of Shimmervale. Hey!
Hey? Is that how you address the Princess of Shimmervale?
No, I believe in Flutterfield it's actually a term of deep respect. Isn't that right? Yes, yes, it is. Hey, Your Majesties. Hey.
Hey. Is that thing growling at me?
Beastly, how are you in Flutterfield?
I see. Clearly, I have much to learn about butterfly fairy customs. Let's repair to the terrace for tea. Madam Ambassador?
Come on, Sylvie.
It's afternoon, actually.
Oops! I slept in. Then I stopped by Flutter's Bakery for some proof pastries. Becky?
It's lunchtime.
Oh, no breakfast for you then.
Now, let's see. Today's shipment of books has already come in. Check. Inventory new books. This could take a while.
So, to defeat the Skeezites, your people must be trained as warriors from birth.
Oh, no, we're not warriors. I mean, we have warriors, but we're a very peaceful people. More tea? Please.
But I was under the impression butterfly fairies were built for battle. The armored scales, the vice-like pincers, the fire breath.
Fire breath? We actually don't have any of those. I love how the crystallites shimmer in the sun.
Don't touch that! The crystallites are only to be touched by crystal fairies.
Oh, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. If I could just... Oh, excuse me.
Oh, my word!
Oh, no! I'm so sorry. This is awful. Let me help. My bad. Oh, sorry. Here, allow me. Thank you.
Oh,
Did I get you? Here, let me see.
please, I prefer you didn't. Perhaps, Madam Ambassador, it would be best if you simply sat down. And moved a bit farther back from the table.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Perhaps just a little farther. Bit more. More. Teeny bit farther. Perfect.
I'm sorry. What?
I I said thank you! You!
Oh no!
Oh, this royal tea is over! Come, Katanya.
Well, that went better than expected, don't you think?
Now is the time, Boris. 8 years of planning my revenge. 8 years to hone my magic and become even more powerful.
8 years of talk and no action. When are we gonna get to the revenging?
Silence! I need to concentrate. Yes, look at it. It's beautiful.
Beautiful? Personally, I prefer things to be shinier, you know? Sparkly like a piece of jewelry or a lake. That's really shiny with the sun sparkling.
Beautiful because it's completely destroyed. Soon, all of Shimmervale's crystallites will have had their final glow.
Can't sleep, see? I know, I couldn't sleep either. There's just so much more to learn about Shimmervale. I can't have any more tea disasters. It says here that outsiders are forbidden to touch a crystallite, especially the Heartstone, which is the most powerful crystallite in Shimmervale. That's why the king was so upset at tea. I'm sorry, Z, but I'm not tired, and this light just makes me feel like I'm at home. Hey! Why, you? Good morning, Marip0sa. Whoa! Ready for your introduction to the people of Shimmervale? Huh? We don't want to keep the king and princess waiting. Not to mention an entire kingdom of crystal fairies. I'll never live that down. 1 minute! Come on!
Marip0sa, before our conversation was interrupted yesterday, you were about to enlighten me as to your weapons training and hand-to-hand combat skills.
Combat skills?
Yes, the ones you used to fight the Skeezites, of course.
Oh, well, it never really came down to battle. Rayla, Reyna, and I met Zinzi. And then we all flew to the Bewilderment, where we found clues leading us to the mermaids who told us to fly east to the Cave of
If
Reflection.
you don't want to tell me, just say so.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be evasive. Shimmervale City, Your Highness. Please welcome Marip0sa, Royal Ambassador from Flutterfield. Well, it looks like everyone is busy today.
We're not busy!
Well, it appears my subjects are preoccupied.
No, we're not!
Oh! Your crown!
She's attacking the king!
I'm sorry. Your crown, Your Majesty.
Perhaps you beat the Skeezites by tripping over them.
There'll be more people here tomorrow. I'm sure of it.
No, there won't!
We're flying! We're flying! We're flying!
And Mother thought 2 years in art school was a waste of time.
And we're stopping! A long time ago, I forget how long, our fairy forefathers built Flutterfield on top of a putrid swamp.
But miss, it says that Flutterfield was built on a magnificent and exquisite garden.
Okay, over here you will see our resident mural guy painting some kind of picture.
Willa, you're not supposed to bring the visitors back here. Please stand back. This is a very fragile... tapestry.
Okay, people, we're flying.
You're not very good at this,
When's Marip0sa coming
Can I
back?
get a refund? Good morning, Z. Today will be better, Z. I just know it. Good morning. Here's your dress. My dress? The king has asked me to invite you to the annual Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball? What's that? Just the biggest social event of the year. Everyone comes to the palace to celebrate. That's perfect. I'll win over the citizens of Shimmervale, and the king will see that we can all get along. Do you know where I can find the king? I want to thank him for the invitation.
Now, where is my third flying battalion? Ah, yes. Thank you. When you're responsible for the Kingdom Catania, it will be important that you position your guards at all the strategic locations from which an enemy could attack.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Your Majesty.
Marip0sa.
Your Highness, thank you for the invitation. I'm very honored. I wanted to know if you want me to, well, address your subjects at the ball. I bring greetings from Queen Maribela, and I could simply say that everyone in Flutterfield sends their good wishes.
Let's see how it goes at the ball, Marip0sa, and perhaps you can address the people.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Look at what you've done!
I'm so sorry. Here, let me help you pick those up.
Honestly, I'm not even sure why I agreed to this arrangement.
Father, it was an accident.
And those wings! They're a menace! Can't you do anything about them?
Do anything? Well, I guess I...
Better. Keep them that way.
I'm sorry. It's just he... I'll talk to him. Father? Keep them this way? Oh, that could be difficult. You wanted to see me, Your Majesty?
Oh, yes. I want you to stay close to Marip0sa at the ball, Talela. It's our most important celebration, and I don't want anything to go wrong.
Yes, sire. You see, Boris, patience is a virtue. Everyone in Shimmervale, all in one place. Sharpen your talons, my friend. We go tonight.
Oh, I'm a sharpening! I'm a sharpening!
Sorry. Did I get it right? You did this? You worked so hard to learn about us. The least we could do is return the favor. Oh. Is it anything like home? It's perfect. I've actually been reading up on Flutterfield since I found out you were coming. You have? I love to read. Sometimes I feel like I never want to leave the palace. I'm perfectly happy spending whole days lost in books. Me too. I've noticed. It's why I think you'll like this. Katonia, you did this? Well, I had some help. This is incredible! Oh, I can't believe it. Have you read this, Flight of Fancy? It's one of my all-time favorites. Mine too. Grab it. I want to show you something. Marip0sa. Follow us! This is my favorite place to read. Wow. It's beautiful. Come on up! Isn't that a crystallite? Only the most important one in all the land. Come on. This is the Heartstone, isn't it? It's the most powerful crystallite we have. I feel safe when I'm near it. Like nothing can harm me. Harm you? Who would want to harm you? It must be hard being away from Flutterfield. Do you miss it? A little. But I'm really enjoying getting to explore Shimmervale. I can't wait to see Glowwater Falls again. I haven't been there in years. You're kidding. Years? Since I was 8. Why not? I don't know. Let's go now. Now? You just said you haven't been there in years. Don't you miss it? A lot. But the crystal ball is this afternoon. We need time to get ready. We'll be quick. We'll be back in 2 wing flaps. Okay, just for a little bit. I understand, Sylvie. She'll be right there with me. You think this is amazing? Follow me! I didn't think getting closer could possibly make it any more amazing, but it did. Have you ever skipped Rainbow Rocks? How would I have ever skipped Rainbow Rocks? You try. You're a natural. I've missed this place. Why has it been so long? Does it have anything to do with why you don't fly? It's okay. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. No, I do want to. I was 8 years old. My father and I were having a picnic when we saw something down below. It was an old woman. She wasn't from Shimmervale, but she was poking around the crystallites. My father confronted her. She asked for a crystallite. I knew what my father would say. He told me all the time. Our responsibility is to the crystal fairies. If we let other creatures have crystallites, we could end up without enough for our own subjects. So your father said no? Mm-hmm. What did the old woman do? Well... You dare deny the Gwyllia?
I can't move.
You had your chance. Now you owe me all your crystallites.
Titania, go back!
Even more precious to you. Say goodbye to your little one.
Madam, Mr. Gwyllion? Look out!
all mine now.
Not if I can help it!
Get off of me!
Give me back my daughter!
No! My staff! Take her!
Titania!
Got it!
You treat me with such disrespect! You will regret this!
Yeah, you mess with us, we'll mess with you, eh? Oh, hey, wait up! William!
Both my wings were broken. They healed, but I haven't flown since. What happened to the Gwillian? She never came back. Are you worried she will? My father worries about it a lot. It's the real reason he allowed you to come. He wants advice on fighting the Gwillian. But he could have just asked Queen Marip0sa. I'm sure she would have... No, he doesn't trust butterfly fairies enough for that. Do you? Yes. I want you to have this. Titania, I can't. With our history, no butterfly fairy should ever take a crystallite from Shimmervale. You're not taking it. It's a gift.
Ah.
Thank you. I have something for you, too. It's so pretty! It's a flutter flower. I thought I needed it to remind me of home. Maybe after I leave, it can remind you of me. Thank you. Huh? Oh. The crystal ball! We need to go get ready! My wings feel like they've been flapping for days.
Oh, it's been a long week, but I think we did it.
I think you're right. Marip0sa's gonna be so impressed. This wasn't so hard.
How did the reading to the elderly go?
I was just gonna ask you the same thing.
Oh, no!
Come in! Oh, no! What's wrong? I came to get you for the ball, and you're not even ready. Sure I am. But you're not... You shimmered! Hmm? In Flutterfield, too. Only we call it defluttering. Thank you. What do you think? Whoa! I'll work on it on the way to the crystal ball. Enjoy the ball! Enjoy the ball! I know how. Wings. You have to fold down your wings. I will too. What do you think? Beautiful. Thank you. My pleasure, your ambassadoress. Oops. Still working on that. Instant gathering with a couple of close friends. I told you. Everyone comes to the crystal ball. I'd be surprised if anyone isn't here. What is it? Nothing. It's just. I always loved dancing until. So we'll dance. I don't take us down, please, Sylvie. Caramel toffee dump. Let's dance. Let's dance. But we're the only ones down here. What if everyone's stairs? What if they do? What if they do? Come on, it's fun. It's fun. You're right. You're right. This is fun. This is fun. Told you. Told you. Oh no. It's fine. It's fine. Now I know how it feels.
Marip0sa, you stole a crystallite. After we welcomed you and trusted you.
No, Your Highness. I gave it to her. We were at Glowwater Falls earlier.
You went to Glowwater Falls unprotected?
I know.
She's a butterfly fairy, and in no position to know what's best for a Falry Prlncess.
We weren't doing anything wrong. I understand why you're so protective.
You know nothing. You don't know what it's like to be responsible for the kingdom. You don't know how to protect us, so we have to protect ourselves. Leave! Immediately!
Leave the ballroom?
Leave Shimmervale and never come back. What now, Catania?
As you wish, Your Majesty. But Father gave it to her.
Even more reason to separate you from an obviously bad influence. It's all right, people. The butterfly fret is over. Smile, dance, enjoy.
I don't know what's worse. That I failed. That I have to go home and admit it to people who believed in me. What is that? I thought everyone was already at the ball. We can't just go. What if it's dangerous? What if it's the Quillian? See? I know the king told us to leave. We have to warn them. See, we have to help the crystal fairies. They're our friends. Katania's our friend. And Sylvie. Are you going to tell me that Anu isn't a friend? If the king and the other crystal fairies aren't our friends now, well, I'm going to be a friend when they need one most. Shimmer, day of reckoning has finally come.
Oh, you're so wicked! wicked!
I don't understand. The one who doesn't understand.
No. It can't be.
What? Oh no. Tanya! Marip0sa? I think it's the Gwillion. She's putting out all the crystallites. If she turns all the crystallites to rock, they will freeze. One crystal. That's all it would have taken.
Stop, Gwillion! Have mercy on us!
Yeah. I will show you the mercy you showed me. As I destroy your most stone of all. Heartstone. Heartstone is like a candle. Keep it lit. Like all the other crystallites. The Gwillion. She's going to get to it first. What do we do now? We do what your father did. Find a way to find our magic staff. How do we...
You guys are lousy hiders. Not gonna get away from me this time, princess.
We have to do something.
Oh yeah!
Shimmer, for your selfish. I leave you with nothing.
What? Hey! What?
Are you all right? I am. His wing is hurt. She'll be okay. She just can't fly. Oh no! Katanya, fly with me. I can't fly. And it's the Gwillion. You can do this, Katanya. Be brave. I'm not brave. I'm scared. I can't. Stay here. Of course. Go. Thank you. I can feel it. Not too much longer. Gwillion! No interruption. You won't stop me this time. You made it! Not fast enough, fast enough. Too late! Look! It's so cold. Katanya! Look! The flower. I wonder. I thought maybe. Keep holding it, heartstone. It's working. I found crystalites. Your wings.
Katanya! You're flying! And your wings! Beautiful!
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And you, Mariposa. I owe you an apology. I misjudged you. I was wrong.
Mistress, come on, get up, babe. Still got a chance. Do this.
My staff. Where's my staff?
It's gone, William. Just like you'll be when I'm done with you. Any last words?
Father, no! Was it harm her?
What?
Remember why all this happened. The Gwillian asked us for one crystal. And we have so many. We said, but we said no.
And that gives her the right to destroy us?
No, not at all. But destroying her isn't right either.
What do you suggest we do?
What we should have done in the first place. She's being a friend. And maybe making one too. I'm giving you your freedom and a chance to start over. I know that's not always easy. So maybe this will help.
You're giving me a crystallite after everything I did.
I'm righting a wrong.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. I hope I can live up to your faith in me.
You're kidding me, right? Come on. We had him. You changed. You used to be cool.
Come, my pet. We have much to think about.
Oh. Hey, if you don't want your shiny things anymore, can I have them?
You may be a child, but in some ways you're wiser than I'll ever be.
Thank you, Father.
I would like to repay your kindness.
Thank you, Your Majesty. There is one thing you can do for me.
Mother, this is King Regelius of Shimmervale. King Regelius, my mother, Queen Marabella of Flutterfield.
Your Highness. I mean, hey.
Hey.
It's an honor to meet you, Your Highness.
You're not concerned about my fire breath?
Your Majesty. I am ashamed that I ever thought.
At least about you were just the sea. But it's all in the past now. It's a privilege to have you here.
And I wanted to give you this. An offering of peace and goodwill.
Is that the crystallite? It's even more beautiful than Marip0sa described. Thank you.
You're welcome. May I have this done?
Why yes. I'd love to.
Watch. Ready? Seriously? You knocked the king's crown off his head with your wing? Well, it was an accident. Never seen his face that red. I have. Not since I accidentally put lava sauce in Fluffle-Muffin. I'll never live that down. I almost forgot. How did everything go with the Royal Library? Not much trouble, I hope. Are you kidding? It was a breeze. No trouble at all.
Hey, that awful tour guy.
Our money. Uh-oh. Freshen up. Hey, come back here.
I just wanted to tell you again how impressed I am by everything you accomplished.
Thank you, Carlos. I couldn't have done it without the Flutterflower.
Care to dance?
I'd love to. What I tell you? Made for each other.
Well, I can see that my ideas of the crystal fairies are far-fetched indeed. You are in no way vicious or vile.
Why, thank you, Lord Gastrus.
Oh!
Oh, I love this song. You dance. I do now. Hey, come on. You want to get your groove on, Lord Gastrus?